Hey, true believers. Chris Mack coming at you today with the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse, the Joker, Batman, Death of the Family. And when I saw this figure, I knew right off the bat that I had to have it, because who doesn't want a twisted Joker with a stapled on, meat hooked mask? Now, if you guys want to pick this up, I looked on Big Bad Toy Store, I looked on Dork's side, I looked on Target, nowhere. I found mine on Amazon. And after I bought it, I went back to see if there was any more. Zilch. So at this point, I would say, please, first and foremost, support your local comic shop and see if someone has traded this in or if the store had ordered this, because I don't know what's going on. All I can say is that I'm thankful that I got the one that I did. So you can see the disturbing looking Joker there. Multiverse, Batman there. 22 points of articulation with the regular McFarlane logo there. Window. Come around to the back. Cool product shot, but again, I would have rather taken one of Greg Capullo's art pieces, like from the comic panels of the Ark. There's also the figures from the Wave, so I'll get a close-up so you can look at that at your convenience. Come back around this way. It says the Joker, Batman, Death of the Family. There, nothing on the bottom. So with that said, let's get Mr. J out of the packaging and get a closer look at him. And here's Mr. J out of the packaging. And once you get him out and look at him in a 360 environment like this, I am a happy little camper. From what I've seen so far and what I've tinkered with so far, I'm elated. There's maybe one or two things, but again, as I always say, whenever you pick up a figure, there's always going to be those few things that are going to drive you up the wall and frost you there. So what do I mean by that? Let's get him down and look further into it. If you've not read Death of the Family, I highly recommend it. It probably is one of the more modern, iconic Batman stories alongside, what was that one called? Court of the Owls, which are both done by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. I have not had enough coffee this morning, y'all. The way this kicks off was after Flashpoint and Detective Comics #1 from November of 2011. The Joker is caught by Batman and put in Arkham Asylum, but at the end, the doll maker approaches and surgically cuts the skin from Joker's face, saying that tonight they're both going to celebrate their rebirth. After that, you're diving into Detective Comics #2 to see what happens, but we would not hear a peep from Mr. J until he reappeared after a year-long absence in Batman #13 from December of 2012. He's horrifically disfigured, stealing back his face, and kicking off the Death of the Family story arc. Now, from what I understand, the whole point was to show Batman that his family made him weak. And the Joker alone, his court jester, the one that brings the bad news to the king, alone could bring him back to form. The story ends on a bittersweet note. Definitely check it out. Now, there's a lot of people saying, why did he cut his face off? I believe, and this is kind of what I understand from seeing other people's point of views, is the Joker had his face cut off to mock Batman, saying that his mask was his real face. Essentially showing Bats that his face wasn't what represented him. Without it, he was as equally sinister and deadly. Now, with all that said, you're like, whoa, this is awesome, and the way that the book ends bittersweetly. The one thing that I have to say here, the one thing that really pissed me off was, Snyder set up this fracturing, spoiler alerts real quick, just in case you haven't read it, but Snyder sets up this fracturing of the Bat family. Readers are reeling. They want to see what's going to happen next. Then out of the blue, before anything could come of it, Grant Morrison kills off Damian in Batman Incorporated #8 from April 2013. So it in a sense, you have all this emotional resonance, or this emotional stuff that you need to get out from Death of the Family, and then we get another death in the family. And at the time, that was so irritating because it just undermined everything that just happened in those books. Anyway, with that said, there's some reading for you guys. Go check it out. Now for the accessories here, Mr. J, the Joker, the Clown Prince of Crime. I knew I could say it. It's a tongue twister. He comes with this this axe. Battle axe, as I heard one of the reviewers say, and it made me laugh. That's silver is awesome. I love the way that it shimmers. The kinks in it. This reminds me of the axe that they gave the death metal Batman. I'm not 100% sure if it's the exact same one. But here's one thing that I will say. I was watching another review at the review spot about this character. And someone in the comments said, so we get this horrifically nasty looking Batman, but ooh, we better not have a gun. Now the axe, because you see a lot of these characters that usually have guns starting to come with swords and stuff. There's this whole firearms ban, which I think is absolutely stupid. But in the comics, the Joker did use a battle axe like this, so at least for this figure, it's forgiven. The wood handle, just showing how it's makeshift, just looks absolutely amazing. The only other real tangible accessory that he comes with is, of course, the display stand, which I'm glad that every figure does get one for those of you that like to display on a shelf. At least every single one of your figures that are McFarlane are going to have one, so you have to worry about it falling. The last thing that he does come with is a trading card, so I'll make sure to throw up a still of it here, as well as the read-up on the back. Now, I kind of wish he would have came with some more accessories, but that it is what it is. As for the paint apps, though, I just love this horrific face and the way that they gave the depths to the eyes to show that his face is not attached to the body as it should. Maybe the one gripe I have here is instead of painting on the hooks there up by his temples, protrude those out more the way that McFarlane would do, like say his, what was that line called that had Elizabeth Bathory and Dracula's real name? I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh my goodness. Not Vlad the Impaler. Vlad the Impaler. Twisted something or other. But yeah, I wish he would have went that route and just made these hooks in his face just look much more disgusting. So that's maybe a little bit of a letdown. But still, to show the skin where it was ripped off and kind of healing after a year, it's great. Love the eyeballs. The bright green hair just screams old school Joker. Love it, love it, love it. And then again, I love how with the eyes embedded the way that they are, see how when the light hits it from a downward angle, you just get these shadows, so it's just like almost that absence of nothing there. The big, horrific grin, good stuff there. Love the Joker, the old school Mr. J purple suit. I think that looks great, especially with a, I guess that'd be a bow tie? I don't know. The flower. I kind of wish you could like squirt something out of this. That'd be awesome. Like one of the old school action figures from back in the day. That would have been great. The purple all around just screams old school Joker. The white skin looks great. I know it's hard to see in the camera because of the white hot look, the effect that I have to use for this, but skin tone is great. Love them shoes. Love that Joker. But yeah, the old school kind of 20s, 30s dress shoes there look great. Black shirts, awesome. So yeah, the paint apps on this figure, other than maybe, expounding on the meat hooks on his face to make it look more like his face is actually being held on by something, I think overall look great. As for the articulation, he's on one of those ball joints where his head can pop off, so just be careful. It's not the ball joint that sticks up out of the neck, it comes in from the head. So you look down that much that way. See what I mean? Ploop! I hate these. So we're just going to stick that sucker back in. But if you're careful, unlike me, you can look up about that much, and then we're going to flip around this way and get some more focus and get that light a little bit off of him. There we go. Look that much that way. That much that way. And of course he has a lot of play because of that, and head still wants to come off. Grrr, it's frustrating. Arm spin 360. That much that way. That much that way. Upper bicep swivel there. Double jointed elbows that go 90 degrees, like almost complete 90 degrees. Hand spins 360. And I'm glad that they hide that nasty ass ball joint that I wish for the love of Pete that they would stop using and kind of go more the, what do you call it? the Hasbro route with the Marvel Legends, but it is what it is. At least it's hidden under the sleeves. Arms go up, arms go down. He does have 2 points of ab crunching here, down here at the waist and right here at the solar plex. And he does, that looks so wrong, but this bunches up in soft plastic so you can get him to look down that much like he's bowing. And back relatively well, almost 90 degrees. That's impressive. Now he doesn't twist at the waist very well, which is relatively disappointing, but up here at the solar plex you get a nice range there that makes up for it. So that's good. Legs that far, almost complete straight across. Can kick out again. And Hasbro, here's where you could take some lessons from McFarlane. Soft butt flap, legs can go all the way that way. Double jointed knees. And surprisingly, a little bit up of an upper thigh cut, or thigh swivel, whatever you want to call it. So that's welcomed. I do wish that they would start giving them leg swivels like the Marvel Legends though, because if you want to try to start turning the foot here, you're not going to be able to. Foot go down, foot go up. Then you have the toe pivot, which is welcome. And of course he has the ankle rocker there. So paint apps, absolutely amazing. Articulation, for what this is and what the Joker is, I think it's very well done. I'm happy on both regards. As you can see, the Joker here dominating the Batman Beyond Batwoman Elena Grayson. And regardless of what universe you're in, you put these on a shelf, your figures are gonna look amazing, y'all. I love almost everything about this Death of the Family Joker. The battle axe was a nice touch, especially since that was the one he used in, I think it was issue 16. And the McFarlane team here just really did a great job capturing the imagery that Greg Capullo gave us in the pages of those now iconic books years later. So to be able to sit here and have a tangible version, I'm excited. I do wish, however, that they would have given us 2 gripping hands and 2 resting hands, or 2 fists or something, but to just give us one of each. What if you want to make the Joker look like he's getting ready to swing the battle axe with both hands? You can't do that with the resting hands. So for that right there is probably my biggest irritation. But articulation-wise, paint app-wise, and just overall, I'm satisfied. I'm happy to have a Nightmare version of the Joker. If you guys have enjoyed what you've seen, then as I said at the beginning, please first and foremost support your local comic shop and see if you can't get your hands on this character. Hopefully that he'll become available later on, but right now, as of this recording, I'm just glad that I got mine when I did. And if you guys have enjoyed this review, we really would appreciate if you take a moment to hit like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you could possibly know. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that fancy little Joker toxic bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, you guys get notified. Come to the channel, and we love talking with y'all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below, or our social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope y'all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.